What's going on? It's Slava here, otherwise known as Gary Grindset, but still going to talk about some stuff that happened when I was Slava. I don't really talk to most people from before, and it's not because I'm bitter, and it's not because I'm in hiding, it's just because they don't talk to me either. It was surprising when the city of Toronto turned on me, but it wasn't exactly unexpected. I knew the city ran on vibes, I just didn't know how quickly those vibes would turn into testimony. One minute you're getting backdoor access at the Hoxton and free drinks, the next minute you're getting ignored by the rapper whose EP you helped premiere on the Fader. When I was 22, I got handed the keys to the kingdom, or at least the keys to the Vice music section, Noisey. I was the editor of Noisey Canada. I was a gatekeeper. I was the voice of a brand. I was the dude who could get you into a venue that was completely sold out if you got me a Pabst Blue Ribbon beer back in exchange, of course. I was in rooms I did not deserve to be in, talking to people who did not know how to speak to the press. And I let that attention fill a hole within me that was probably the size of being fatherless first-gen immigration sized hole. Sized hole. Manhole. The point is that I was the guy, and I like being that guy. But it turns out that when everything is transactional, the currency dries up real fast, especially when you get publicly fired from Vice and then get federally charged by the RCMP. People unfollowed me like I had posted vaccine disinformation. Some deleted our entire online existence, including text messages and Facebook profiles. I was just a tab that they closed on their laptop, and I get it. Nobody wants to be associated with a headline like that. Thankfully, jail humbled me. And not in the way that, I read the Quran and did a bunch of push-ups, even though I did both of those things. More in a way that it showed me what friendship really means. Like, this is what friendship looks like when you have nothing to offer the other person except a phone call. And maybe a good story. Not to mention that the dudes inside showed me more honor in 2 weeks than I learned in 2 years at Vice staff meetings. And I'm not even trying to humanize them here. Nor am I really trying to romanticize the struggle. I just mean there's something grounding in people telling you the truth because they have nothing to gain from you. Because you have nothing to give them. Today I talked to maybe a handful of people from my Vice days. People who used to be in green rooms are now in backyards, on a blanket, with a toddler, trying to jangle some keys in his face. Last time they had keys in their face, it was for a different reason, you know what I mean? We've all moved on. We've all settled in. And they bother me, well, I shouldn't say bother me. They hit me up even knowing there's nothing I can do for them. It took losing everything to find out who was really there for me. And that's something that a lot of people will never get, and I'm really grateful for that. It's not all kumbaya, don't get it confused. I still hear stories about people whose tweets I very distinctly remember who are now trying to run things back and say, oh, I barely even knew that guy. Because, listen, here's the thing. I don't believe that people truly change. It's like Jay-Z said, you was who you was when you got here. I think after the age of 23, people just kind of stop developing a personality. I think they adapt, they change in the fact that they change what they present. They mature. Mostly they just mask the things they don't like about themselves better to other people. The core self of who you are is still deep down. That's why they call it the core self. I've just built a lot of layers on top. I'm like an ogre with a Wi-Fi channel and an eBay account. Being an ex-Vice editor doesn't define me, but neither does being an ex-con. They're just tabs that are open in my browser history, but they don't define me. Now I'm a guy who edits content about jail and flips stuff on eBay. By the way, I got 4 7-inch singles from the 2014 Polaris Prize, if you're talking about a time capsule. Basha Bula, Timber, Ode Palette, Arcade Fire. Ooh, this one's a good one. Shad and Mac DeMarco. I might actually have to hold on to those. I might not sell them. So yeah, I don't talk to people from before, but I think about them, and sometimes I wonder what they'd say if they ever watched these videos. But then I remember that they probably muted me around 2016, 2017, and that's okay.